Okay, we're recording, and I'm recording this on my iPhone, and I'm in my car. So once again, the audio will be ridiculously bad. I'm going to try to fix that as much as I can in post-production. So apologize for that. But this is my only opportunity to air a few grievances I have that are going on in public discourse. So I wasn't really going to talk about this, but I guess I feel compelled to at this point. So the controversy surrounding the NFL and players taking a knee for the National Anthem in protest of what is essentially the racial disparities that can be seen within the American justice system, and what can lead to, in the case of implicit bias, to black men having a higher percentage of deaths from the police. So, I believe if you're a black man, you are 7 times more likely to be killed by the police as an unarmed individual. And we should find this unacceptable. But unfortunately, a lot of people aren't really dealing with these items that these players are trying to bring to the fore, and these items that we should be discussing, and they're just reacting, as a lot of people do. And so and then we get the vice president the other day went to a Indianapolis Colts game, and it was just they were playing the San Francisco 49ers, and the San Francisco 49ers are sort of where this all began with Colin Kaepernick, and also they are more likely to take a knee than any other team. So it was known that they were going to take a knee, right? So this just was such an obvious ploy and such an obvious publicity stunt, and probably directed by the president, as the president admitted this or stated this in tweets, sort of throwing the vice president under the bus, because the vice president had said, I was offended by I don't have the exact quote, but he said something along the lines or to the effect of, I was offended by the players taking a knee at the National Anthem, so I left. Well, what it really was Donald Trump told him to to leave the game once they took a knee, and that's what he said in the tweet. So it was just an obvious setup publicity stunt. They spent like $250,000 for his travel to do this, and then he just went right back. He came from the West Coast, I think, and then he flew right back out to the West Coast. It was just an obvious publicity stunt. All of this is to distract from all the crap that's going on and all the failures of the administration, and to stir up his base, who are a bunch of fucking idiots. And they're reacting and not thinking. If you react without thinking, you're making a mistake, typically. And that's what's going on here. But what I love is that in their reactionary behavior, they are pulling this respect card. As if these idiots gave two shits about respect. They don't care at all about respect, and it's quite obvious. Oh, you're disrespecting our flag, disrespecting our military. There are people who fought and died for that flag. These are the same stupid morons that voted for Donald Trump. The most disrespectful candidate we have ever seen. Normally, when someone puts down a military gold star family and insults them in public, that's the end of their political career. Or at least it damages it greatly. Didn't bother these Trump voters, just like all the other stupid shit he did and said. Nothing bothered them. When he said John McCain, considered by most a war hero, when he put him down by saying that, basically implying that John McCain was a loser because he got captured. And we shouldn't be celebrating losers like John McCain because he got captured. I mean, how can you sit there and say that you're all torn up about disrespecting the military or disrespecting our flag or our troops or any of that stuff that they say? How can you be all torn up about that? You can't. The answer is you're not. You're a big phony. And it should be obvious to everyone that you're a bunch of fucking phonies. All you Trump idiots. And, you know, these players are not disrespecting the flag or the military or any of that. They're simply using their platform to bring to the fore, to bring these items to the fore that they think are important and should be heard and should be talked about and discussed. Now, to some extent, that's happening, and to another extent with the people that aren't going to listen to them anyway, because, you know, notice how it's, you know, these are primarily black people that are doing this. So notice how differently they behave when there's a concern about a black person getting out of line. So I think one of the players had it right when Pence pulled that stunt and said, well, this is oppression in action. This man of power goes out and does this publicity stunt to try to silence us, in an effort to try to silence us by this fake outrage, so that the Donald Trumpian base, these mouth-breathing morons without a thought in their brain, will start burning their jerseys and creating all kinds of havoc that the NFL has to consider. Let me tell you something. These crybabies, the NFL's not going anywhere. These crybabies are not going to stop watching. They might make a video where they burn their $80 jersey like a moron. They're not going to stop watching, most of them. It's too ingrained in the culture. One little event like this isn't going to change any of that. The ratings will continue to be fine. The NFL is doing marvelously well. The only thing that's a threat to the NFL is the health considerations of the players. Popularity, there's no problem there. And this isn't going to affect the popularity. In fact, some people might say, hey, these guys are really concerned citizens, and I'd never watched the NFL before, but maybe I might check it out. And I was never really much of a fan, but look at all these other individuals in sports that are kind of the opposite and don't really represent well. I think these guys are representing well by being concerned citizens and risking their careers, which Kaepernick destroyed his career by doing this, essentially. So we see what happens, but maybe it'll go in the opposite direction. At any rate, just know that when you hear these people pull the respect card, they don't give a damn about respect, and they've demonstrated by their support for Trump. Alright, so that's all I got. Thanks for listening, and I'll try to do more. I'll try to do better and have better audio than this.